Loading. Setting up your meeting. Can you hear and see me well? I'm afraid that like the connection is a little slow, but I might be wrong. Is this okay?
Yeah, you were breaking up a
Yeah.
little bit. This is fine, yeah.
Perfect, everything.
It's just that the live streaming just takes so long. Okay.
Are you in Prague, Jacob? I can't remember what you said.
Well, actually, I'm in the northwest in Czech Republic,
Nice.
in countryside.
Yeah.
Yeah, in lovely place where is nobody. It's a village about, I don't know,
Yeah.
50 houses.
Yeah.
Close to the Germany.
Okay.
And you?
Yeah, I mean, I drove through. I drove through there from the UK. I stopped in a
Oh,
city called Chemnitz,
right.
like on near the Czech border.
Mm, mm,
Chemnitz. I'm currently in Slovakia, and it's raining.
yeah. Right.
Okay. It's we're up. We're live.
Good.
Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to another monthly website acquisition forum. We're not only talking about websites, we're talking about SaaS, we're talking about content websites, so that's the websites part. But this is expanding to newsletters, communities. That's Richard's term, adding communities into the digital assets. We're talking digital assets, not crypto, not crypto. That's not the topic of this forum.
Especially at the moment, yeah.
Especially at this very,
At
very
this
moment.
very moment, yeah.
But tomorrow,
it's pretty ugly.
Tomorrow's back.
For sure.
So let me just make a quick screen share of what we're going to talk about, what's going to be the agenda, and I'm going to take it from there. And I got this cool, I don't know how you, oh, it's the first time using this thing where you see me inside the screen.
Very nice.
Okay, so this is our agenda for the call. Let me move this a little bit here. We're going to do a roundtable, just a quick overview who we are. If we have more people joining, great. We'll also get them to speak a bit of why they're interested in digital assets. Then we're going to do a quick market updates. I'm glad we have more knowledgeable people from Richard's community here that can give their insights of what they're seeing in the digital assets world. So I'm very excited about that. And we're going to do deal assessments as much as time permits. I prepared 4 different listings, but we'll vote what's most interesting for the people who are here. We'll decide which we'll do. I usually get to do 2, sometimes 3. We'll see. We have some wiggle because I prepared 4. Or if you quickly want to find your own and want to bring it in, fair enough. That's great too. We can do that. So let's go then. Richard, you want to start? Who you are, what's your interest in digital assets for the people who will watch the recording and don't know you, or our live stream, or in the live stream, which I can't see who they are. So just that. And then
yeah.
go, Jakob.
So I've been building online businesses, what we're now kind of classing as digital assets for quite a while. Started with blogs, content websites, moved into newsletters when I found Substack, built and sold a paid Substack, moved on to Beehive platform. I've also built and sold podcasts and communities, and I have been running a newsletter called Digital Asset Investor for a couple of years now, and have a school community by the same name, and personally interested in where newsletters and communities are going as their own digital assets that can be bought, leveraged, and bought and sold. And yeah, good to be on the call.
Cool. Thank you for joining. Jakub.
Oh, thank you to having me here. I'm also happy that Richard is here because he's a very interesting person and inspiring person. So lovely to having you here.
Last one for that.
Well, and something little bit about me. So I'm a community builder a lot of a long time. So I had an agency in Czech Republic. Mostly did some communities like Facebook groups, Slack groups for the companies, for startups. But in later stage, I found the communities like a interesting tradable asset. So I start to concentrate for to acquiring communities. So we are in Wednesday. I will change my agency officially with the papers for investment group. So we will not create the communities anymore. We just concentrate for the acquiring communities, established communities, and for example, from Facebook, from Slack, from another platforms, we monitoring 70 plus community platforms actually. So we exactly catch just this niche, and we are creating community marketplace where what will make the transaction between the communities much easier for the acquirers in the future. So that's something a little bit about me. Thank you to having me here.
Super interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, as I said, if we have more people and sometimes people trickle in, then I tend to stop the call and just have more people saying a bit about themselves. So let's see who's going to join. I want to talk a little bit about the market updates for people who are not in the, let's say, know-how of what's happening in the digital assets world recently. Basically, people, content websites, I can't say dead, but they're not strong enough on their own as a digital asset. And when I'm talking content websites, I'm talking about pure content, meaning website about air purifies, information, and then ads, and then these stuff. This doesn't hold with Google so much anymore, or let's say very risky. And a lot of these small websites were hit at the past year or so, uh, taking away most of the traffic, most of their traffic. Some websites were badly hit up to, I'd say 95%. By the way, guys, feel free to, say things from your insights of what you think.
I agree with you.
And moving to the traffic moved to larger websites. So think of Reddit, Amazon, for many, many, many keywords. When you search, you'll see only big websites out there, and the small ones are basically on, I would just say page 10. They're probably on page 100. So it's been pretty bad for those. Hence, getting just a content website is not a good thing to do these days. Instead, you want to buy a website, either a content website, and then you know exactly what you're going to do to build a moat around it and make it stronger by building, as I just mentioned, communities, newsletters, products around, or just acquiring already one which has those. Therefore, it will be a stronger, better asset for you. So that's definitely a huge trend happening at the past year, and I think even more at the past, let's say, 4 or 5 months. I hosted a guy named Ewan Finzer about 2 months ago on my channel. I actually hosted him twice. He has a wonderful course about leverage called Reddit Leverage, speaking about marketing in Reddit for now that the content websites are, let's say, almost dead, or they're not strong enough as an assets of their own. I have a discount code. If you want, get in touch with me afterwards. I'm happy to share that with the people watching this video. Also, a latest trend, I haven't tried it, but know of others who are doing it, is reviving content websites and other websites who lost a lot of their traffic through making them an e-commerce asset. So once you're adding a store, either a digital store or a real store, so real e-commerce, a product, seems like Google likes that much more. Hence, if you're taking a website that lost 60, 70, 90% of their traffic and adding that, assuming that website already had good history, that might revive the website back. And another trend that people are seeing is that you can buy a stronger domain and then 301 redirect the content of the bad website, that the not performing website, not the bad website, into the new domain. That would also help revive that asset. Of course, it's not 100% success. I don't think, by the way, that there is enough statistics about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it is something that people are seeing as a way to revive their dying assets. Let's say that.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's tough in the content side game. I left a few years ago.
You left in a few years ago already. When did you leave?
Yeah, I stopped like trying to rank probably around 2019, and then moved to newsletters because it was just getting tougher and tougher. The Google updates were getting worse and worse, and that was before AI content was a thing as well. And
Right.
but yeah, it's got far worse. And so
on a positive side, though, you do see amazing opportunities nowadays. If you know what you're doing and you maybe can merge a few digital assets, let's say you have a community and you just need a content website, you can get up for it.
Yeah, there's huge opportunities if you're an acquirer. The same with newsletters. I mean, newsletter businesses were really hot about a year ago, and valuations have just plummeted. And I mean, because of sponsorship revenue fell off a cliff. I feel like it's coming back now a little bit, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for acquiring a large number of subscribers at a very low cost. So as an acquirer, it's a great opportunity. As an operator, as an owner, as a seller, it's a bad market right now. Yeah.
But as acquirer, you then need to be the operator unless you have someone. So you do need to get in
Oh,
these shoes
there you are.
afterwards.
So yeah, like I have a couple of domains that can help with that. Yeah, couple of productized services. Yeah.
I have a bunch too. Okay. Anything interesting to add about the market trends, whatever you're seeing? Maybe something of Jakub that I haven't mentioned?
What can I see? It's exactly that. For example, school is growing up right now, and another way, for example, the bubble IO, like no code and everything like that, new platforms where people can make demos thanks to the tutorials until in 14 days or 30 days, right? And when you split the not split, putting together, for example, demo on bubble, and then you will catch the community. What it's more like autonomous community. I don't think that where is the leader talking about every day, and they need to push. But if you will catch, for example, we made community market research, and we've got closely to 2,000 AI communities. And if you will start to think to packaging them, that you will acquire them all, and then just give them to one place like school, you can have actually also great business because the many admins, for example, on Facebook, they don't know how to monetize that, right? So you can right now in that moment buy the community and jump over the community development phase. I mean,
Right.
in the so that's what I can see. And the second how can I see that's also the growing market like Flippa and Equarcom. These marketplaces are also amazing and highly rapidly growing. That's my opinion.
And there are so many new ones, many new marketplaces.
Yeah,
Many new
and
concepts.
finally, it's very interesting and very important. When you are looking for this at the school, at the school platform, when you just read the articles or just watching the videos from the guys, they are from Generation Z or and you
Yeah,
know, and
yeah, it's crazy.
there is 20, more than 20 communities what they are making $1 million annually, right, and more, right. So and fantastic thing is also that it's a very a diversity, right, that there can be lady about 50 plus, and support the entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs ladies, for example, and make a millions. Or there is the guys, whatever color you are, generations, and that's amazing also
Doesn't matter, right?
on the school right now. So I can feel that it's new way how to create also digital asset, very nice
Right.
digital asset.
I'm definitely going to try what Richard mentioned
Hmm.
for,
Hmm.
for the community, for the meetup.
Yeah.
Maybe moving from meetup to school community. We'll see that. We'll see about
I haven't
that.
seen any get acquired yet, though.
What's that?
Publicly, at least, I haven't seen any school communities being bought and sold.
Acquired. Ah,
Acquired, yeah. But I'm sure it's
Hmm.
happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's I can't see why it's not going to become its own thriving asset class, because yeah, like trying to build an engaged community is incredibly hard. So acquiring one is definitely the play for most business owners. So the only issue is that at the moment you can't actually change ownership of the school community that you built. It stays with the creator, so you kind of have to give your account. But anyway, like Beehive, right from day one, made it incredibly easy to buy and sell newsletters and have them transfer to other people's accounts, which is great. And so that just needs to be built out within school. But yeah, I'm very bullish on buying and selling communities, because I think they're the hardest assets to build and to run and to maintain, and I think the most lucrative, because they're the most engaged, the most lucrative asset, because they're the most engaged, and you can have two-way dialogue. Yeah.
Did you
right.
acquire or already something, Richard, from in community industry?
What's that? Sorry.
Did you acquire anything on community industry?
No, I haven't acquired a community. I've sold communities previously. I haven't
Right.
acquired one. No.
Okay, let's maybe go to the. I'm going to go now and I'm going to choose what we're going to review. Let me share my screen again, and I'll show you what I prepared. By the way, to what you said, Richard, I did more and more newsletter reviews, newsletter deals reviews at the
Nice.
past few, let's say, months. But it will be super interesting, to start doing communities instead. And I'm sure we'll see more and more of those. I mean, they'll probably pop up in the marketplaces at some point.
Yeah, there's been some on acquire.com, but there's not many. Yeah.
Okay. So I have an AI app for making recipes. These are apps. I have
Oh,
crypto newsletter. That's another one.
interesting.
Block basis. I have a SaaS for men's health. That seems like a pretty solid one. They also raised, like, I think it says here in the listing, $22 million. But I didn't go through them very deeply. So I'm kind of almost seeing this for the first time, like you guys.
Yep.
And then the last one is this, which is basically a lead generation agency from this badass insurance leads. So these are insurance leads. So this is another business, which let's say, which two you want to do, and then maybe there will be a time for another one afterwards. Let's see. Which
Well,
one
the
you
crypto
want?
newsletter is interesting to me.
This one. Okay, give another vote.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
me, recipes, please.
Recipes. Okay, so we'll do those two first, and if we have time, we're gonna go for the for either of the other two that I brought. Okay,
cool.
we'll do that. So let's start first with the newsletter. Okay, so we have a business from Flippa. Flippa is a big marketplace for digital assets. It has all sorts of digital assets. Many of the listings here are by bidding, though this one is not. This one is basically a listing with a price of $20,000. You see here, it says open for negotiation. It's always saying open for negotiation for people who've never seen Flippa listings. They're saying it's a SaaS. Well, let's see why they're thinking it's a SaaS. But what am I seeing from the subtitle is 20K subscriber crypto newsletter with SaaS tool with 60K annual revenue from sponsor and 70 paid subscribers with 100 or more on free trial. So 170 paid subscribers. Let's jump down just to see who the seller is. This is Niklas from Denmark. He has verified email address, phone number, government ID, and two transactions totaling $10,000 on Flippa. Now, and this transaction is 20,000, so around the same numbers. You know, sometimes I see when I review new deals that they have a tiny transaction, okay? I don't know, $5,000 in transaction here, but this new deal is $500,000. So it's kind of, there's some mismatch there with the amounts here. So it kind of doesn't say a lot about the seller. But in this case, it's actually around the same number. So it's like, okay, we get it. Site age is only 3 months, making $1,700 a month, 96% profit margin, and 15,000 page views a month. You can already say that this is a pretty. I'm looking at the revenue multiple and kind of what's the story here. So the monthly recurring revenue is 3,300 with 96% margin. So somehow the numbers here don't add up, because if this makes 3,300 a month, half of it is profit, about half of it is profit. So the multiple for this is 16,000.
What's the SaaS tool that they're talking about?
Yeah. I'm still figuring this out. As I said, as I mentioned, I'm reading through
revenue,
and then we'll see. But I'm just looking at the multiple first. So the multiple here, it's the monthly multiple for profit is about 12, 13, right? Because it's 1,700 times 13 will get you to around 20,000. That's a very, very low multiplier, even in today's term. So I wonder what kind of risk they are, what's the risk here that maybe they're not telling us about, but this is an opportunity, but also a red flag. I'm not going to go and watch the video now. I'm going to keep going on with the listing. Performance, we only have data from May and June, so we're missing July, and we're missing the previous data, which is again a red flag. But they said that the website is only exists for 3 months. So super high growth. You really need to ask the seller and dig in. What's the story behind this growth and the numbers here? Let's. Any comments from you guys?
Yeah, can you drop the URL into the Zoom? I'm struggling to find it. Because I need to understand what the SaaS tool is, because I don't think it's going to be generating anywhere near anything particularly significant for paid.
Block basis, a safe Web3.
Yeah,
It's a
the
newsletter.
actual Flipper URL.
No. I put the actual flip URL. Sorry.
Yeah. Because okay, so it's got like 20K free subscribers apparently, but we don't know. Well, let me have a look at the listing. I'll have a better idea.
So Richard, you'd know more than me on this layout. This looks like a Substack layout, right?
It's on Beehive.
It's a Beehive.
Let me
Okay.
just have a
Powered
look
by
at
Beehive. I see them at the bottom right. So that's basically a newsletter. It's not a SaaS. I don't know why they're saying it's a SaaS.
Well, I just logged in. It looks like it comes with a SaaS tool because there's no way that they're making $3,000 a month from paid subscribers. It's just too hard right now to do that. Okay, there's a video where they're just walking through what the newsletter is. Okay, and then it looks like there's a
SaaS tool that helps people avoid getting scammed, rugged, or lose their money in their crypto wallet.
yeah, 2 minutes of 50. It shows what the tool looks like. But I can't see a link on the listing for what the tool is.
How much money was from the sponsors, annual sponsors?
Sponsors.
They got 70 subscribers.
Annual.
Yeah, they got 70 subscribers. It says into paid subscribers, which is 50 a month. 70 times. Oh, okay.
So that's the 1,600. No, that's the 3,300.
That would be the 3,500 then. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine. Then we're okay. So they've built some kind of tool.
Okay.
That they're offering their paid subscribers. Okay.
Block
Then
Basis writes newsletter about recent exploit in the crypto industry sent to 20K subscribers. Where paid subscribers
maybe they do have that number. Maybe they do have 70 people out of 20,000.
There, we've converted 70 of our subscribers into paid subscribers. Another 100 are on free trial.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe they do.
Okay, annual revenue of 60K. Of course, they did not make those 60K. This newsletter exists for 3 months. It just on an annual basis, it will be 60K, out of which 40 is recurring revenue. Okay, this calculation means that they are projecting this is what will happen. I'm saying these two people watching this. It doesn't mean that they actually have made this money. Finally, the domain block basis is estimated to be worth almost 10K according to Dyna.appraisals. Okay, see attached spreadsheet.
Yeah, I mean the value of that domain is kind of irrelevant. You could say it's worth 10,000. You could say it's worth 500.
Yeah, that's
it's
so many
not a bad
estimates.
domain. If I owned it, I'd price it about $2,000. But saying it's worth $10,000 is not realistic in terms of valuation, in my opinion. Yeah, it looks like this was okay. It looks like this newsletter was started in December.
In December, not 3 months. Okay.
But they haven't had that many sends.
Oh, I see here.
So they had 12.
Yeah, December.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 18 and another 12. Yeah. They've sent 30 issues. They've sent so every week they've been sending regularly. Okay, they've been sending regularly since like March, February, March. But yeah, it's very new.
Very new.
So yeah, that means the question is, well, how did you get 20,000 subscribers that quickly? And what is the current open rate? Like, are these subscribers just all churning? Like, are you able to acquire a huge number? Well, not huge, but like a significant.
So they're mentioning this overall churn of 2%, which is rather low, I'd say. But I don't know if it's true. Maybe let's keep reading and see what they're. I don't know.
Okay.
They say.
I'm reading the listing. Yeah. No, everything that I said actually is in the listing. It sounds reasonable, but yeah, it's not existed for any kind of length of time, so we don't know the churn for paid.
Okay. I'm going to read just the revenue part, and then we'll continue the discussion, just for people who are watching can also follow. So as a combined newsletter and SaaS tool, we have worked the following revenue streams: paid subscribers. This is the main revenue source. To access our premium SaaS scanning tool to safeguard their assets in their wallet. So from what I understand, people who subscribe to the newsletter also get free access to that tool. It's not sold separately, at least for now.
Yeah.
And they have sponsorships. We make nice chunk of our revenue from sponsorship, where a sponsor gets featured in our newsletter, and we write dedicated article, Flippa doesn't recognize this revenue, so won't show in the charts below. If you watch from the beginning and what Richard said about sponsorships with newsletters, that is probably not going to be a significant revenue stream moving forward with newsletters. So maybe not discount that 100%, but it's not worth as much as it used to be.
Let's have a look back to the website, because mostly you want to show the sponsors. So what
Okay, let's
if
see
they
which
have
kind of sponsors.
if they have a sponsors
Let's
on
see.
the
I just
website.
chose a random one. I'll get 7. Subscribe
I'm
to
not
what?
understanding the
Oh, that
profit
one.
revenue multiple if their current recurring
tool.
revenue is over $3,000. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why they're saying it's 5.7 and 6 on the listing. This is the
Oh, I see. Okay, because Flipper is the platform. They put the price in 20,000, and Flipper is doing it as if it's a one-off or
which
annual.
one?
Flipper's kind of taking that 3,300 as annual revenue, and that's what's created that 6x profit multiple. It doesn't.
I see. That's what it's saying. Okay, so disregard that. I get it now. You asked about the sponsors. I guess these are sponsors.
Well, the one that the issue they sent out an issue an hour ago. That sponsor is from the Beehive ad network that's paying a dollar per click.
But not the one I am. The newsletter Bitcoin is not, because this is a screenshot. I
know.
think.
So if you go to the top of the page, the 1440 is a newsletter.
Yeah.
But you need to go click on the top left logo, the most recent one. So that's from the Beehive ad network itself. So that's paying $1 a click, and if they have a let's assume they have a 35% open rate because it's crypto, a lot of people will churn.
This is I assume this is a sponsor. Subscribe to newsletter Bitcoin.
All of these are like paid recommendations for newsletters that won't pay much either.
Okay.
But they have 7,000 opens. Maybe, well, let's be conservative and say 0.01%. Well, that's 7 clicks. That's a bit too conservative. Let's say they're getting at least, like, I don't know, let's say 50 clicks. That's reasonable. Okay, maybe they're getting like 50 clicks on the 1440 sponsorship and generating $50. But yeah, like sponsorships. I know I've tried having crypto newsletters before over the last year, and it's a terrible place to play. There really isn't the money being made right now, so you need to kind of disregard sponsorship revenue. It's probably averaging $100, $200 a month from sponsorship revenue, maybe a bit more, maybe 500, but maybe 500.
So I think,
but probably not more than that. So the value is how you value the paid subscription, but it's very new, so you don't know the churn rate.
Right. So I would look at their strategy of how they converted them and see if you can do the same, or if they're doing it good enough. If, like they're saying it's only 2% churn rate, that's pretty good. But again, you don't have enough history to really know if you can keep up with this.
Further down the listing, they're saying the churn rate is 30. Oh no, that's a Flipper thing. I forget that's a comparison box that Flipper has. It's too early to know what value they're providing and whether people are going to carry on paying. It's very hard to do a paid newsletter in crypto. The biggest one, the Milk Road, had one and then they killed it. Then now doing another. They're trying again, but it's just not easy to do it. So
Okay.
I don't know. I would value based on the number of subscribers, the number of opens that they have,
I
and
see.
value on how much sponsorship that can generate per month, which is not much. And then I come up with a value of the paid subscription. But I I would not be confident if I bought that newsletter. I would not be confident converting people into paid subscribers. I mean, the most recent issue, I can't see. Okay, no, they got the. Oh no, it's at the top. Make sure this hack doesn't happen to you, and then there's a get a 7-day free trial. Okay, I quite like that call to action. But
So all these people have converted into the paid, into the SaaS, not to the newsletter.
well, they're calling
I
it SaaS, but it's a so if you click on the button, get 7-day free trial.
For the newsletter.
That's where you pay for Beehive, you pay for the paid subscription on Beehive, which they're calling a SaaS.
Okay. So I wonder why they don't also market that SaaS tool to somebody out of the list. I mean, they can also get subscribers for this, and that's probably worth something. So this is an upside here that for some reason they're not talking about, but I haven't read yet everything. They're saying here, so they have other revenue streams they haven't used. So affiliates that they haven't activated, that's this part. We have not activated affiliate partnerships. Custom audit reviews on the SaaS tool. We list all the smart contracts and dApps that have been hacked that subscribers should be worried about. This opens up opportunity for the owner technical skill to generate highly profitable audits of the contracts. Okay. Typically, smart contract audits cost 10,000 and upwards to be done. Hence, the revenue potential is large. We've done this in the past year, which is why we see a choppy revenue. You see this choppy revenue about a year ago. Interesting, because they are marketing this listing as a SaaS, but they're not giving. I don't know why you can't use this SaaS tool and make it some kind of a pay subscription only for the SaaS tool and not for the newsletter. The potential for new owner is clear. Convert more subscribers into paid subscribers, of course. More sponsorships? No. It's basically new revenue streams such as affiliate sales and custom audits reviews. Cons, Beehive. Use Beehive as a platform of newsletters, which costs $99 a month. Fine. X ads, we started using X to promoting block basis. They're saying it's a cost. Okay, it's a cost, but they're not saying anything about the engagement. It's all hosted on Beehive. Yeah, go ahead.
I've just seen it in a tweet. Like the tool is something that scans your wallet to see whether you've connected to some bad contracts that can drain your crypto wallet. Well, that's very useful, but once you do that once, you don't need to go back and do it again multiple times. You don't need to keep paying for the tool, and there are free tool options where you can do that anyway. So I mean, it's a fuddle. It's that they're I don't know in the listing whether they're saying how they're acquiring their subscribers, but it's basically arbitrage. Can you acquire subscribers for cheap enough? Can you get enough of those? Can you convince enough of those to go onto a paid subscription? And then how long can you keep them on a paid subscription before they churn? Good on them for what they've built, but I don't see it as a sustainable business. So the value here is understanding how much they're acquiring subscribers for, and their skill at doing that.
Or turning that into a community, like we
because
mentioned.
there's nothing else to understand. Like the great thing with newsletters is it's all obvious. Like every week you're seeing what the content is and what they're trying to sell, how they're trying to convert. So they're trying to get people into a paid subscription, and you see exactly how they do that. So yeah, the only metrics, the only things to understand is how much they're acquiring for and what the churn is. And if you were to understand what both of those are, you could just do it yourself, without acquiring the asset. So
let's see why are they selling. The reason we're selling the newsletter is because we stand in front of a raging bull market and being involved in multiple projects within crypto.
Well,
We need to focus on fewer projects, give them the chance to realize the full potential. Did we have more time and resources? We would double down on block bases, continue to grow the paid subscriber base, and start activating the affiliate revenue source as a third big income stream. We
Yeah.
set the price based on low revenue multiplier compared to other similar sites. We're willing to negotiate the price if and only if buyer can pay in crypto. Okay. Buyer can move fast. So from my experience with multipliers, having a 12 or 13x monthly profit multiplier is rather low. I'm glad to say that they're saying that they're going to negotiate this. As you mentioned, Richard, there is a risk here. So that's probably already
It's
revealing.
it looks a reasonable listing. It's a reasonable price point what they're asking. It all looks very reasonable. But I would rather kind of.
I think that the growth opportunity here, as you mentioned, is turning that into a community, maybe.
Well, the
School community.
I mean, like trying to set up a crypto community would be very hard. I don't see any growth opportunity. It's just an arbitrage. It's just, can you acquire subscribers for less than, can you make a profit on a paid subscription? It's not a business that interests
I'm
me.
just thinking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What interests me
thinking-
is trying to model the funnel that they've currently doing into other businesses. Like that's the interesting part. Like they've had success with that, but as a business, as an asset, it's not something that interests me to acquire. But how they're doing it interests me. Yeah.
Okay. Jakub, yeah.
Well, I was thinking how to connect it, for example, to any communities or something like that. One thing what I can see there, it's just that you already have a communities somewhere, paid communities, and you cross-selling your subscription thanks to the posts in so people who can check the crypto, then also they can become to be, for example, to Richard community on school, right? But also for me, it's not interesting because it's a lot of work behind. I guess. For example, the affiliate marketings in these days to doing for the crypto, the competition is too high. I also did a community market research about the crypto communities, and there is a lot of them, and I think there is much interesting topics for the newsletter for the newsletters than crypto at that moment. That's my opinion.
I see.
Yeah, crypto people don't really like to spend money on communities. They want it for free. They want it anonymous. But they definitely don't want to be on a subscription. Like the Beehive subscription, what they've done is it's impressive. But can the new owner keep acquire new subscribers at anywhere near the level to make a profit? That's the thing. So I mean, it's worth 20,000 if they tell you how they do it. If they're not, if they have a repeatable system for getting cheap enough subscribers, then actually you're basically buying a $20,000 course that comes with 20,000 subscribers for free. Like if these guys are genuine and smart and they're willing to say how they do it, then it's well worth the money. It's well worth buying it for 20K. But as a business, it doesn't interest me because it's just not. It's too fragile.
I see. Okay, I'm going to go over just to the engagement statistics and whatever we have here on the listing, and then we'll move to the next one. Now, some of those statistics are irrelevant because it's a newsletter. So they have 42,000 users and 46,000 page views. But I guess this is from the Beehive platform, and it's not really a, let's say, website. Also, engagement duration is 20 hours, irrelevant, of course. Top channels are direct. I guess that you do some kind of advertising because their organic search is so low. That might be some of the strategy they're using. They're just not saying this here. Actually, it's the difference between those 3,300 revenue and 1,700 profit. They're probably putting 1,700 for ads just to get those subscribers. Most of those are from United States. Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria are not the best countries to have subscribers from. Japan is doubtful. I don't know. Let's see, list of assets. Monetization methods, ads and services. And Beehive. Something important for people who don't have, who can't register for Stripe. You cannot acquire this business. With Stripe, you can only get Stripe account if you're from certain countries. I have Israeli nationality. I cannot go on Stripe unless I open a business, and that's more complicated. So you need to do that first before you acquire this business, and then only then you can start using Stripe. So keep that in mind.
I scroll down to the bottom, and the seller, if Nicholas is the seller, he's saying it's from ads on X ads.
X ads. Okay. I see. Okay. So so these are the comments. How are the initial subscriber gotten? Your traffic is 99 organic, and yet SEO score seems low. What did your subscriber find you? So he said X ads are quite effective on a small budget. Newsletter we send where we link to block basis, and hence becomes direct traffic. Hence none of these to rely on search engine marketing or SEO. Okay, so this is either paid or free. Number 2 here, and this is definitely paid. That's what they're spending on for growing the newsletter. Social media is irrelevant here. It's just 214 followers. And one last word about this post-sale support included. It's very common to see on Flippa listing seeing included, but it doesn't say what that includes. So ask the seller, is this 30 days, 90 days, 60 days support, and what this support entails? Is this Zoom calls? Is this only email, chat? You need to know and put that, so that will be very clear what you're getting as support from the sellers, so you can basically do the same thing as they do, as Richard mentioned, if they're willing to reveal it, and maybe just run it as your own asset. But they're giving here everything. So the assets are the domains, websites, files, email subscriber list. That's the biggest value here. Social media account, not so much, 214 followers. Brand, unique design, fine. Any last words with this one, or moving to the next one?
I mean, the value is understanding what the price that they're acquiring subscribers at and how they're doing it. That's the value. That's the skilled part. Because the paid subscription, it doesn't matter what it is. Because, I mean, it doesn't actually say like when you hit the
here.
Yeah, let me just go to, so like when you hit the 7-day free trial,
let's see.
Access premium search and scanning tool. I mean, it doesn't show you, or it doesn't break down. I mean, this is how Beehive does it, which is fine. But my point is that anyone could create a table like that. It's not really showing the value behind it. So I mean, that is the funnel, and it's good that it's impressive that that's working for them. But that there's no real value in. I mean, yeah, the other value is like, is their software tool unique? Like you said, is it unique? Is it doing something that other tools are not? Maybe there's value there, but you can't see it. It's kind of hidden. So, assuming it's not particularly unique, then the value for me is the ads that they're running and how they're doing it.
Richard, you know how I would approach such a deal? Because you're saying it's interesting, but the value is, we're not sure how it's going to end. I would do this with seller financing. I would offer very low down payment and then tell them that the rest will be paid from the revenue coming. and they'll have the incentive of teaching you everything, so they get all their money back of whatever price you agreed on.
Yeah.
So this is how you learn how to run this. I think that's a good strategy business-wise for this asset.
Yeah, I mean, if
Okay.
they're making $1,600 a month
Yeah.
through ad arbitrage, then good on them. But yeah, as it says, it's only been going for a few months, so you don't know. Well, I mean, in a way, kind of churn is irrelevant. Or you could assume that everyone will churn after month 1 or month 2. I mean, I would assume that, and then it's just a case of, can you acquire the email subscribers through Twitter ads cheap enough to get enough paying you $50 once, maybe like 1.5 times. It's an arbitrage play. So can you continue to get crypto subscribers for cheap enough where 0.5% of them will sign up for a paid plan? It's a sales funnel business. That's what it is. It's using Beehive as a sales funnel. I mean, I haven't looked at the content, but I don't imagine it's particularly special.
Unique.
It's a sales funnel, and which is great. I mean, this is how I leverage Beehive. It's a sales funnel play. So the value is, are they going to show you how they run the ads?
Right.
It's interesting. It's interesting business, and they're asking for 12 months profit based on a business that's been around for 3 months. Kind of seems pretty reasonable. It all seems reasonable, but it comes down to the ads. Yeah.
Okay. Let's move to the
I'll be back
apps.
in a second.
Sure. Jakub, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we have a business on Flippa again, and this one is called Chef GPT. Already like the name because it rings well with ChatGPT, of course. Chef GPT is an AI-powered recipe generator that creates tailor-made recipes and meal plans based on dietary restrictions, ingredients, and more. You can see the screenshot of the website here. They're asking for 90,000. It has 326,000 page views a month. Profit margin is 72%. Site age is this, just 1 year. It's making just $1,000 a month of monthly profit. They're asking for 90,000. This is a huge multiple, so I'm very interested to see why this is so expensive. My hunch is definitely heavily negotiate this deal, but let's see. Let's go again, see who the seller is. This is someone from Hong Kong, the MIU Digital Limited. They have their email and phone number verified, but not their government ID. I assume that this is because they're a business. That's my thinking here. So it's not a person, but a company. This is at least what they're saying. So it's hard to say. This is something you should watch out of. No reviews, no feedback on the seller, no previous transactions. Also kind of on Flippa, let's say not red flag, pink flag over there. Let's look at the rest of the numbers. Revenue. You see here from February all the way to July, revenue plummeted in January. Something happened, but the page views have not, right? So somehow it seems like they kind of stopped selling something, okay? Because they still have traffic. But I wonder why they stopped. Let's keep reading. Chef GPT is an established player in growing AI apps space and available in web app and mobile app, Android and iOS. Currently, Chef GPT offers the following features. I'm not going to go through all the features, but definitely different ways to make recipes. You see pantry chef mode, master chef mode, macros chef mode, generate recipes based on specific micronutrient goals. They have all the features here, but not so much about the business side, if you see what I'm saying. So shopping list, cookbook. What's nice here is that they do buy on Amazon Fresh and Instacart out of the box ingredients from the app. This is how they make their money. All the ingredients mentioned in the generated recipes and meal plans. That's a cool idea. Could be that their Amazon account was closed. This is why they stopped making money. I don't know. Domain chefgpt.xyz. I don't like the XYZ so much. Maybe you have something interesting to say about these. They're not valued as high as .com or even others. Okay, these are relatively new. Does make money from AdSense. Very, very little. See over here. They had more revenue, much more revenue until December. Annual revenue 15,000, sorry, and annual profit 11,000. The monthly profit here is lower than what it stated above, so 631. Payment processing fee 88%, $88 a month. Hosting $20 a month. AI services 180. Okay. Analytics. So fluctuating, but still on the highs with the page views. You see, so very nice traffic. So more page views, but you see that the number of unique visits is pretty stable. Well, here it's 150, but you see here 40, 50, 50, 100. Okay, I'm not sure why it's jumping here in July and November. Maybe people are looking for more recipes at this time of year. It's hard to tell. Engagement statistics. These are the number of users and page views. You see that people are looking at a lot of page views, so 3.5 page views a session. That's a high number for people. So looking for a few recipes before choosing one or leaving the app or leaving the web app. As I understand, most of the traffic is from organic, 77%, which is I wouldn't say a good thing nowadays when Google is killing, as we mentioned at the beginning, the organic traffic. But it's not like 90 or 95% traffic, organic traffic. So it's not as risky as you see some other websites where they have 90, 95% organic traffic. Direct traffic, 19%, referral 2.4%, cross-network, 1%, whatever that means. Then top countries. Okay, most of it is India, 136,000, then United States, United Kingdom, Spain, and Germany. So generally speaking, ads running for developed countries pay more, much more than emerging markets. So India in this example, and that's about half of the traffic. Okay, a strategy here would be somehow get more users from developed countries like the US, UK, and others. Definitely something very prominent here in this listing. Monetization method, ads, affiliate sales, services, subscriptions. Again, Stripe. So I mentioned before that if you are not eligible to open a Stripe account in your country, you need to either move them to a new payment system, which probably will cause a churn of people who are already on this platform, or need to open a company and do some kind of workaround with this one. Sale includes domain, email address, subscriber list, custom technology, fine, website file, da 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 da. And post-sale support included right here. Let's see. Again, what this post-include sale includes. 30 days, 90 days, 60 days. Is that chat? Is that emails? Is that video calls? You really need to define this with the seller. Now look at the social media assets that they're selling. Pretty little social media assets, and then 430,000 subscribers. You need to ask the seller, who are these subscribers? Where are they coming from? Is this really an email list? Can you really email all of those? It's something to look into. Let's look at their P&L. Very interesting to see what's going on here. Because you see this listing is interesting, but it doesn't have enough information to really estimate clearly enough about the business. So definitely, if you are considering this business, first of all, heavy negotiate the price, but definitely go on a thorough call with the seller, understanding what exactly you're buying. Let's look at what are trends. Trends, bad trends. You see here, revenue is gone in June. You see that? Let's look at 2024 P&L. Let me make my screen larger here.
Hopefully that's because they haven't put in June yet, and it just looks like that. Hopefully it's not gone to zero.
Web subscription on May 900, 0 in June and onwards. Something have happened.
Yeah.
Everything is 0. Well, they had some Google ads somewhere, but it's not in the P&L, right?
Or could be any bot.
What's that?
Maybe could be any bot and then ban.
Maybe. Could be. So they dated that.
Because it's on ChatGPT, and with ChatGPT, the people doing a lot of things with Zapier or Make.com, so automatizations, and then when the platforms will find that somebody do robots, then they cut them.
Maybe. I'm just
We
not
need to
sure.
ask. We
But
need
listen,
to ask.
look here. But they do state that they have ad revenue. Look here. See that? AdSense revenue. It's not in the P&L at all. I'd say they did a really bad job trying to sell this listing, especially at a 90K price. I'd say it's a very bad job. It could be an interesting business, but not enough information to really assess that. You might think differently, but that's my opinion here. I'm kind of trying to look for more information here. They also have the fundraising deck, whatever that is.
What we know about the owner?
I'll go and look at the profile in a bit. I just want to look at the PDF. Maybe they also say something about the owner. Never worry about what's for dinner again, the problem, the solution. Market validation, 10 months, 6.9 million page views, 100K app installs, 500,000 registered users, 2,000 MRR, 70 to 80 profit margin, 0 marketing investment. Advertise. So they have a pro plan, advertising, affiliate fee. That's with Amazon, I assume, and paid access to ChatGPT API service for developers who want to build on top of the infrastructure. That's a good thing that they, build something which is more robust for others to use their platform. Okay, definitely competitive advantage, first to market, first ever food app with AI, brand, memorable, definitely memorable. Online presence, captures 150 organic clicks, availability via web, iOS, Android. Here's the team. Stefano Cantu, marketing lead at Immutable, Binance, ex-Visa, ex-Red Bull, definitely impressive experience. Universidad okay, he's Italian, I assume. Luigi, yeah, self-taught full stack developer. Okay, it's just him.
Sometimes happen. It looks like one case. We've got a application for dogs. What connecting people who is dog lovers, right?
Yeah.
And behind that, it's super amazing marketing company, and they perfectly launched the app. They perfectly had a 90,000 downloads. But the problem after that, after 1 year, they thought that they will start create a social effect inside the app, and it's not happen, right? Like on Instagram, on Facebook. So they didn't have a actually community. They just catch the people to the app, but nobody cares in the app, right? So there didn't start to social effect, and it looks like here, they could to catch the emails, like with the great newsletter. Beginning could be like super high grow, but then they didn't know how to create the social effect inside the app.
I don't
it
know
looks like that.
if there is social effect for the app.
Is
I
it
mean,
is it
it's people
possible?
who eat. We all eat.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because if it's Chef GPT, that's mean that just the people just consume and not talking together. Not there is no networking or around. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you could do maybe mini communities, um, vegetarians, carnivores,
Hmm.
paleo, keto, maybe do these, and then people talk among themselves. But then you have to also have community managers around those to really operate those, because community can't live, at least at the beginning, without somebody leading it.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
I don't know if, I mean, it's possible. It's kind of a hard strategy to do here, I'd say. Also, another risk that I see with this business is, why would people not ask ChatGPT instead of going to the app? Why would do that? I'll give an example. I was
Exactly.
using an app for learning, an AI app for language learning, and I did
Mm.
the demo, and then I saw a YouTube video showing how to do the exact same thing with ChatGPT, especially their new feature that you can talk to. So very similar, maybe not 100% the same, but I don't know, you get around the same thing. So it's kind of a skin on ChatGPT, and which is easy to replicate. So only if people who don't know about ChatGPT would use that. But then the branding here is Chef GPT. So it's for people who already know ChatGPT. So it's kind of,
Yeah.
it's contradicting. So they would move to ChatGPT at some point. That's the risk that I see here. Definitely, I would not pay $90,000 for this business. There's a huge risk here.
And it also could be like a hype when OpenAI pushing the GPTs, so they could be like on the top in the recommendation GPTs, and then it
Yeah,
could it fall down, right? So maybe, I don't know.
yeah.
We have to
I'm
ask.
super interested to know what happened here.
Mm.
What happened at this point and why they're not saying anything about it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's so important to say something about it. Let's look at the comments. Maybe there's something they said. Why are you selling this business? Same question. Why are you selling? They're not even communicating. They don't care. That's what it
Mm.
seems. You see that? Somebody's
Exactly.
even offering them a joint venture. And that's from April. That's 4 months ago. So this listing is here for a long time, at least from February. So 6 months. It has lots of views and lots of watchers. It could be that this listing is already sold. It could be that they decided to hold it or abandon it. You really can't know. So the way to go here is going and get in touch with the seller. You got their LinkedIn, and ask him about this. I wonder if he still gets messages. By the way,
Yeah.
here it says Hong Kong. The seller seems to be Italian, right?
And people are from India.
And what and what? Half of
And
the people are from
subscribers
India.
are
What?
from India.
Exactly. It's all over the place. Um, Profile, nothing. You see this? He's active 5 days ago. I wonder why he's here checking this. Not too much
Happens.
verified. Interesting. So, as a person who sees a lot of listings, this listing overall is really lacking to do proper estimates. This is also something to learn from, okay? Sometimes people see good business and you see, wow, it's making so much money. And then you have all these holes in the listing.
Mm.
So pay attention what you're looking at. And try to get, if you're still interested, try to get as much information from the seller. This is definitely necessary and this for this listing. And also ask them about the business risks that we mentioned here. How would they mitigate them? What they would do? Maybe they'll have good answers that you'll say, wow, okay, that's really worth buying. And maybe that will not convince you and you say, okay, I'm moving on to the next business. That's basically my thinking.
How much are they asking for this one again?
90,000.
Did I say
$90,000.
400,000 emails? Was that this one?
400,000 emails, $90,000, but it's making only $1,000 a month.
Yeah. So we can download it on our phone. It's still live.
I haven't tried. Let's see what's over
Yeah,
here.
I
that's-
mean,
that's a good
it
idea.
seems like it was something that was promoted in the App Store, one of the app stores, and then was stopped being promoted. When did this start, and when did like ChatGPT, its own GPT marketplace store, launch?
Started.
When were those two times?
I wonder if it's around that time or not. I'm
But
looking at the website here, yeah.
So yeah, I'm installing on my phone. But like, is there a ChatGPT chef one that people are going to? Explore GPTs.
I can't do
Chef.
that here. I need to show all my GPTs here.
There's Healthy Chef comes up. 50,000 conversations.
How many?
50,000. I have no idea whether that's a small number or a large number.
It's a large number. It's a large number.
Okay. 4.4 stars out of 5, I assume. So yeah, in the ChatGPT store, Healthy Chef is one. Yeah, I mean,
he
you
was
need
kind of
answers,
hoping,
but
he was listing and kind of hoping that something will happen. And he has lots of watchers from what I know, what I'm seeing with Flippa listings. 158 is a high number, but we don't know what happened.
yeah, let's see how many backlinks this has got. Is it a powerful domain?
What was the name of the guy?
What was the name of the guy? It's here.
DR35, which is
DR35.
has some value.
Okay, DR, if you're not familiar with, is domain authority, and 35. Let me pull that on my Ahrefs.
It's a very good looking website. So when did the revenue start?
June or July.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's no longer
chef GPT dot not a XYZ, right? Popular. It's on their popular list. Okay, Ahrefs, if you're not familiar with it, is a tool to track domains and understand how much, not domains, websites, and understand how much they're worth. It helps to estimate. This is what Richard mentioned, DR35, which is kind of on the low to medium number. Lots of backlinks, 13,000 backlinks. However, number of keywords is rather low, only 174. I would have, hoped for more.
yeah.
I anticipate that we'll have more. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some
Look at
good
this.
parts to the business. You got to figure out why it dropped. You need the sellers to respond. If it's making $1,000 a month now, I don't know, it feels like it's worth like at least $40,000 for everything. If it's something that really blew up, there's a huge number of emails. There's definitely value here, but there's not $90,000 of value unless we get answers.
No. I would estimate that the cash flow probably at around 18 to 20x, so 18 to 20,000, and you're estimating another 400,000 subscribers and another 20,000. That's what you're saying?
So if it's currently averaging $1,000 a month, making 12,000 a year, then you're kind of buying it for three years profit. But that's because it has a good looking website, it has domain rating, and it has a huge number of subscribers and app downloads. And I saw on the phone, like, it has in-app advertising and sponsorship as well. Like, it all looks, whoever built this, it looks like a decent job. It's just that people can just go to ChatGPT now. and get
Yes.
an assistant for free.
That's what it means.
So the value is in the any kind of recurring revenue, churn, all that kind of stuff.
It's very interesting because I found him on the LinkedIn, and the founder of the Chef GPT, it's Stefano Cantu, no Luigi, like in the. And the second thing is that if you check on LinkedIn how many people it's connecting with the ChatGPT, like cooperators or like employees, there is just him, nobody else, right? So also another signal that I could to be like not checking that, like checking sorry checking that more closely.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
interesting because
I think that one of the reasons he's selling is because he started, if these dates are correct, so he
Can
started
be.
working for them.
But why
And
why
that-
it's in the documents Louis? There is no
missed
like
that part.
Stefano. And the second thing is right now in the LinkedIn, it's a lot of bots, and exactly they starting to be very very great mate, like the bots, and they working with like automats, and it looks like them. I don't know, maybe not, but
Let's see.
people should to be careful more.
So he's
Where's
got a
Luigi?
fundraising deck in there. He was looking to fundraise.
Are you talking about the LinkedIn?
On your screen now, that PDF, the Chef GPT fundraising deck. So he was looking to fundraise at some point.
Seems so.
Or yeah, it looks like fundraising off
Yeah.
his kind of
Fundraising
peak
deck.
trajectory, and then it tanked.
Chef GPT last week.
I assume.
It tanked because of I think that he just turned off something. It can't be that he tanked. I mean, the tank was in
So when
June.
does
In December. December to
ChatGPT?
January. Let's see when it fell here.
But 2 weeks ago, he posted long overdue update on Chef GPT. Last week, Chef GPT crossed the incredible milestone of 1 million AI generate recipes. Next milestone, 1 million users.
Wow. And so it's now 10 times larger. Now I understand.
And
Now I understand everything. It just succeeded too much.
And it's 2 weeks ago, and he's not commenting on Flippa. No, he's not giving the support of his commenters, right?
Right.
So
What was the time?
it's weird, actually.
What was the timeline of the revenue again? What does that graph look like? When did it start? When did it peak? When did it stop?
So it plummeted from December to January, but the keywords or the traffic, well, these are keywords.
On the listing, the Flipper revenue graph, it fell off in January.
Yes, between December and January. And
Okay, I mean, so I looked up like January was when ChatGPT launched their store. But that doesn't mean that people knew about it. But that's interesting.
But then Jakub said that you probably looked at this one, long overdue update.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And on the deck, he does say, let me go back to the deck. I lost it. It's here. Sorry. On the deck, he does say how many GPTs it generated already. And in this update, he's saying it's 1 million, right?
Yes.
And here in 10 months, 725 recipes. Well, we don't know exactly from where that is. 10 months. Okay. So I think this guy basically wanted to sell, then something happened and he said, I'm going to go all in. And at least according to his update, he's doing really well.
Looks like.
Shall we
Yeah.
get in touch with him and try to buy
The
them?
zero marketing investment, it has to be the app stores loved his AI app and pushed it massively and then stopped. But there's no other. I can't think of any other scenario.
I don't understand how he mitigates ChatGPT. I have no reasonable explanation for that. I don't know.
People are not going to continue to pay for this,
Yeah.
I would think. So there's no marketing, so no one new is really finding it. So, and going forward, I don't think people would continue to pay. So
Yeah.
it's likely this will trend to zero, which
Let's
is
try
what
to follow
happens. But
the app
it seems
downloads.
that he did a lot right. It looks very well made, but it's a business that's trending towards zero. So it's whether the
Look at this
individual
one.
assets of the business are worth more than the amount that he's willing to let it go for.
Hmm.
So again, I would not be buying this because of the revenue. You're not buying this because it's a cash flowing asset. You're buying this because it's made up of assets that could be valuable if you leverage them elsewhere in other businesses.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to see the app data, but it doesn't load here for some reason. Maybe because it's my Brave Shield. Let's see. Chef GPT. I'm kind of trying to validate what you're saying, Richard, that they pushed his app. No, I can't load it. There's another sensor tower, maybe.
It comes up in the search bar for me, but it's when I click on it. Oh no.
It's because data AI were bought by Sensor Tower, so it could be that it's just not working anymore. But then
I've got
here
the
I
patient
can
sensor tower now.
we acquired data AI. Do you have the page and sensor
Okay.
tower?
Yeah, is this
Can you
one?
send it on chat? I want to
Yeah.
open it.
It's saying 50 to 100K install range. Top countries: India, Brazil.
Yeah. UAE.
Last updated
Here, install range.
in June. It's not really telling us anything that we don't know.
Yeah.
Category rankings. I don't know what category it's in, but it got as far as 60. It's now down to
Yes,
150.
it's not particularly high. They're organic.
No, yeah,
records.
exactly. It had, and then the ratings and reviews, the top feature review, 1 star, it works horribly.
Yeah.
It keeps freezing. I mean, it looks like something that went incredibly well and then didn't carry on.
Okay. So I guess more digging needs to be done here. He's done bad job at trying to sell it. He kept
Yeah.
going with it, and I think we don't see a bright future for this one, although what he have achieved. We might be wrong on this, but this is what it seems from this research.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be
It's a
interesting
kind of a mini due diligence process here. Okay.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many of the emails are actually clean, valid emails.
Yeah, I would verify them for sure. I would verify all of them for sure.
I mean, that's probably again the most valuable asset.
Over here.
Maybe there's 80,000 real people, but then I don't know about whether you're allowed to export. I mean, did they sign up to be emailed? Probably not. So I mean, yeah, it's an interesting one to discuss, but again, it's not. If your goal is to make money, is to make a return on your $90,000, obviously open to negotiation, then I think there's better places to put your money. Yeah.
Our price here is around 30. Let's say that. That's what I give. Maybe
Yeah, I mean, it depends what that $995, $995
coming from.
dollars a month, how fast that's trending down. I don't know. Based on everything that we've just done, it's probably worth $20,000 or something. Possibly around there, which is pretty brutal based on all the work that this guy's done, but it could
Right.
be. It feels like maybe it's around that amount of money.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm afraid we don't have time to go for another one. We've gone well over time, but that was super, super interesting, at least for me. So thank you so much for joining and helping me out. It's the first time that I have other knowledgeable people with me to do that. So that's a lot of fun. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining. I will see you next month on another meeting where we'll do a roundtable. We'll look at more deals. And of course, we'll go over the market trends so you can be the best buyer for yourself to get better deals. So see you next time. Cheers.
All right.
Thank you,
Sorry,
guys.
thanks. Cheers, Jacob.